Hi everyone, let's talk hypoglycemia. You know it's going to be a fun one. Okay, so 5 years ago, me and my little brother, who isn't so little anymore, made a video on how to test blood sugars. And at the end of the video, I said about looking at hypoglycemia, or hypo for the purposes of this video. And I can tell you, when I was 19, I was an idiot beyond all idiots. Because the plan was, I was going to make myself go hyper and I was going to film what happens. Now, yes, I know I got told by doctors that it was a very stupid thing to do. So, I didn't do it. So, 5 years later, I'm also going to put a link to the original video in the description box, and I'm just going to put a link in the description box. It'll make things easier, to the original video, and then you can give that a watch and you'll see what I'm on about. So, like I said, I was an idiot. However, 5 years later, and I ended up in A&E, or ER for my American friends. And I thought I'd try and talk you through it, and I spoke to my doctors once my blood sugars had come up. I spoke to my doctors and asked them the best way I could do it. And they gave me this. I coloured in the L, sorry. I was a bit giddy, so I coloured something in. But they gave me this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this into my computer and put it on my Facebook page, as well as talk you through it here. The Facebook page link is in the description box, but it is also going to show up here, or even here, just for magic tricks. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk you through it, and then I will, if I've got time, I will tell you about my experience, because it wasn't the best thing to go through. So hypo is basically when the blood glucose, when it drops below a certain level, and what you have to do is you have to know when your certain level is. Most professionals say that if it drops below 4 millimoles per litre, that's here. What I'm saying, just in case you can't understand, 4 millimoles per litre, and you have to treat it. If you are unable to test your sugars for whatever reason, you need to seek medical help, because if you get symptoms such as dizziness or sweating, then that's the first sign that something is going wrong. Now, these symptoms can sometimes be missed, especially in children, because when I was a kid, I was always falling over, and it wasn't because I was hypo, it was just because I was clumsy. And to be honest, I'm 24 now, and it still happens. So you've just got to be careful, and you've just got to test sugars. I always keep a blood glucose meter. There is 4 in the house, 2 in the car, 1 at my mum's, well, my other half's mum's. There's 1 at my nana's care home, and I think my dad has one. I think he has one, I'll have to double check with him. But I have them everywhere. It's not all the same meter, but as long as it works and as long as you can test the sugars, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it's your normal meter or not. If those two symptoms are missed, so the dizziness and the sweating, if they're missed, they can lead to more severe symptoms such as slurring of words, behaving oddly, behaving unusually aggressive, and difficulty concentrating. Now again, these symptoms can be missed if the person is usually like this. Now, so you may be asking yourself, what causes a hypo? And there are five things that may cause a hypo, and that's too much insulin or diabetes medication if you are on tablets or something else. As far as I'm aware, to treat diabetes is dieting medication such as tablets or insulin. I take insulin via a pump, and one of my friends takes tablets. Now, too much of that, which is what happened to me going into A&E, I had too much insulin. Way too much insulin. A delayed or missed meal. If you have to have your meals at certain times for your medication to work, you must have it at those times. Or have a snack if you're going to be late for some food. Not enough food containing carbs. I've tried a couple of times to go carb free, it doesn't work, I end up going hyper, and well, I end up hungry. Unplanned or strenuous activity. Now, yes, I know where some people's minds are going, and yes, I have to plan for sex. It's one of those things, we're used to it now. Drinking too much alcohol or alcohol without food. This is a subject that I'm going to be touching on in more detail in a couple of weeks' time, because I'm going to my dietitian on the 6th, I think it's the 6th of April. I'm going to my dietitian, I'm going to talk to her about it. I personally don't drink anymore. If you follow me on social media, you'll know why I don't drink anymore, but I know a lot of people do, so I think that would help. And something that a lot of professionals won't tell you is that sometimes there is no reason why you've gone hypo. It's just one of those things. And it's one of those things that can be rectified if treated quickly. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Ow! Ah, that really hurt. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to look at fast-acting carbohydrates with you and the quantities in which you should take them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to my kitchen work surface and we're going to have a look at what you should do. Okay, so first we have Dextro energy tablets. You can get these at any supermarket or grocery store. Taking 4 to 5 of these should start to bring you up quite quickly, but if it doesn't work, then try 4 or 5 more. If that fails again, then try something else. But you should leave it 15 to 20 minutes to wait for the blood sugars to rise. Next we have Lucozade Energy Original. The orange one doesn't work as well, so if you're going to get any, you should always try and get the original as it works best. Drinking 100 ml of this should start to bring you up, but again wait 15 to 20 minutes to see if it is actually working. You can also drink 150 to 200 ml of fruit juice like apple juice or orange juice. It tastes a little bit better than Lucozade. We have 1 to 2 of these Dextro gel tubes. You can get these from your doctors or you can get them from the chemist, but I do think you need a doctor's signature to actually get them. If you do end up unfortunately going into hospital like I did, they will give you some so that you can make sure that you can avoid hospital again. But again, once you've had 1 to 2 of these, depending on how low you are, then you need to wait 15 to 20 minutes to see if your blood sugars have come up again. Next we have Jelly Babies. Now these are my personal favourite ones. I have tried so many different Jelly Babies, but these ones you can get from your pound shop or online. The pound shop I get them from is Poundland, and that is in my nearest town. I usually have 3 to 4 of these depending on how low I am, and then I wait 15 to 20 minutes, check my sugars and see how it goes from there. Excuse the glucose boost, I needed to hold this up. Finally we have a classic Coca-Cola full fat and full sugar. This is really good. It usually takes 150 to 200 ml, so same as the fresh juice of this to bring sugars up. This is good in times of if you can't get anything else. I always keep a can of this in my fridge just to make sure there's always some on hand just in case I have no access to anything else. So once you have done your, ow! I'm going to have to stop doing that. Craven keeps looking at me because I keep hitting myself. Okay, so once you have done that, what you need to do is you need to look at long-lasting carbohydrates, and what you need to do is you need to have some of that. Now, some things that you could have are a sandwich, a piece of fruit, so like a banana, a bowl of cereal, 2 to 3 plain biscuits like digestives with a glass of milk, or you can have your next meal if it's due. That must have carbohydrates in it, and then that way it should sustain you and keep you going. What to do now? the aim is that your blood glucose is above 7. And once it is above 7, you have your long-acting carbohydrates and you should be fine. If you test your sugars every 2 to 3 hours after this, then you can monitor your blood glucose a lot better. And it should be, for a few days after this happens, you should test your sugars every 3 to 6 hours. You know your body better than anybody. You know your body better than anyone. So only you know what to do. If the blood glucose stays below 4 millimoles per litre, then you need to repeat the short-acting carbohydrates until you are above 7. If this does not happen, then you need to get in contact with a professional. When this happened to me, I rang 111 and then 111 told me to get to A&E. I didn't want to go, but I didn't get a choice in the matter. Peter told me I was going to A&E whether I liked it or not. I went to A&E, they hooked me up to a drip with 5% glucose. They had me on that overnight whilst my pump was not connected. I disconnected my pump at 9 PM and it was not reconnected until 12 PM the next day. Now, that meant my blood sugars rose. However, the hospital said they would rather treat higher blood sugars than lower blood sugars, because with higher blood sugars it's easier to see the damage. I personally disagree, but who am I to say? I'm not a professional. Having said that though, I've been doing this for 21 years, so I think technically I could be classed as a professional. I don't know, but I'm still learning. Once you are above 7 for a day, not too high, you don't want to be above 15. Between 7 and 14 you will be okay. If you go above 15, you need to start checking for ketones and things like that. So basically, once you have done this, you need to get in contact with your diabetes professional, your dietitian, and your diabetes nurse. These are the 3 people that are going to help with your case. Now, I have regular contact with 2 of the 3 people. The diabetes specialist I'm seeing on Thursday the 6th of April. I'm seeing her. I was supposed to see her back in December, but the appointment got cancelled and rearranged. So that's why I'm seeing her now. And because I'm now part of the adult clinic, I see her twice a year and that is it. But the dietitian and the diabetes nurse I can see as many times as is needed, which I think is really important. I'm going to put a link in the description for Huddersfield diabetes team. The reason I'm putting theirs on there is because that's where I am, and I know that their skills and their work that they do is absolutely phenomenal. If you're not close to Huddersfield or Calderdale, that sort of area, you need to ring your GP. Your GP will have the number for the nearest diabetes team to you. And it is important, I can't stress this enough, that you make an appointment to see them. If you don't want to control diabetes, you want to work with it. And you can only work with it if you have the correct tools. Now, I didn't have the correct tools and I was guessing and making it up as I go along. Now, this is not what you want to do. Oh my poor baby. Since doing this and having the team working with me, I have found that my blood sugars are so much better and my carb count is on point and everything is going so much better. Line with the same thing as I've just told you. Try and make an appointment to see your GP as well. Because usually in most GP surgeries they have a diabetes specialist on team. They have a diabetes specialist on their team and everything will be okay. But like I said, this information is going to be on my Facebook page, as well as the phone number for my team, which I think will be more than happy to help you out if they can. But if they can't, then you need to contact your local team. And I hope everything is going to be great for you and have a great week next week. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram. I post a lot of things about my personal life, my dogs, and the crazy antics that I get up to. But yeah, have a great week next week, and I wish you all the best. Bye now.